Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Nextlander podcast. Hi, Alex Navarro.
That was an intro like you were trying to catch that thing as it went by. Like the podcast was about to leave you and you grabbed that strap right before it sped off.
Hold on, folks. Here we go. Podcast time. My levels might be a little high from last time. I'm going to take them down a little bit. Brad Shoemaker.
I got to counterbalance this energy. Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing well.
I'm doing fantastic.
Oh, good to hear.
I'm feeling very in the middle.
Oh, banana.
Oh, banana.
Oh, banana. Hey, look, I wanna start this show by saying I have made the big trip in the EV, the electronic vehicle.
Oh,
the
electronic
EV3. The electric vehicle has made the big, I don't know, what would you say to Pennsylvania? Probably about 200 miles-ish.
Oh,
which
that
part
is a
of
big trip.
Like
Like
Western Pennsylvania, Central, or Eastern?
I'd say Central-ish,
Okay.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about 3 hours.
What's the range of you got an Ioniq 5, right?
Yeah, who knows?
You don't
Ask
know.
the gods.
You don't know yet. Or like, what does it say at a full charge? Doesn't it tell you how many miles you've got? I mean, I'm sure that varies based on some stuff.
I don't know.
What's the ballpark?
300. You could look it up. 300
on a full
something.
charge? Really?
Something like that. Maybe 2 something.
Okay.
I have the all-wheel drive version. That's the one they had in stock, so it's lower than the extended range version. I think so here's the things that I've learned, and I'm going to go through these quickly because it's either old hat for people who have EVs, but maybe it's interesting for people who are thinking about making the switch. So I had known some of this before, but I am trying to keep the battery around 80% charged, right? Not 100% charged. And that's a pretty easy thing to do because in the car you can say don't charge above 80%. And I'm trying not to go below 20%. So that knocks about 40% of effective battety off of the EV. And the reason I'm
one
not
of those things it's about like stretching the battery life? Okay.
Yes. I think that, that's what they tell me. So
okay, Goofy.
And so when you're driving, look, the other thing is I'm very new to this and I don't know what the proliferation of EV chargers is going to be. So starting to get below a certain percentage on the battery does stress me out currently because it's a really interesting thing. And I'm sure this will go away, so I'll share it with you all now. When you're doing highway driving in the United States, usually there are big blue signs that say gasoline, food, whatever, next 30 miles or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And those are all from a time before everybody was just using maps and apps to find everything there. But the EV chargers are all app-based location finding things. So I don't know if we'll ever get signs on the highway that just say, hey, EV charging, or maybe if all the gas stations adopt them. But this is an app freaking based economy in this EV. I downloaded no fewer than 3, maybe 4 apps. There's like each charging utility wants its own app,
that sucks. Like I wouldn't mind one app that tracked everything, but having to get a different app for every ecosystem is the worst.
Well, it's not the tracking. So the tracking, there are a couple of apps, Better Route Planner and I think PlugShare will track a lot of the chargers and do a really good job with that. It's felt like a bit of a dice roll when you roll up to a station, whether they let you pay with just a credit card or if you have to have their app installed. So we rolled up to a Tesla supercharger and that needed the app. And so here you are with 2 elderly people literally waving their phones around like maniacs, looking to see if it's an NFC thing somewhere around the charger. Because my wife's phone just said, tap on the thing. So we're just tapping around in the air while our kids are just cringing in a corner in the front of a Wawa.
It's like some technology indistinguishable from magic kind of situation.
Totally,
like you're just like you're doing the magic, like you're speaking the right incantations and
granted, this was the first time we'd ever filled up the car, but yes, it was just like, try it on the car, try it on maybe it's on the supercharger. Turned out it was neither. I just needed to connect to the thing. Anyway, that required an app. The good news was the car filled up in like 10 minutes. Like that was very fast.
What's the word? Like dousing? Right?
You're looking for electricity.
Like the waters, walking around with
stars.
Do you
trying
feel
to find, you're just like waving the magic tablet around looking for the electricity.
Rods.
So what happened at the Wawa, which I guess the Wawa has plenty of Tesla superchargers in multiple Wawas. You pull up, if you have the Tesla app, You then say, I'm at 1D. And you're like, are you? Okay, click 1D, we'll activate it, and you plug it in, and then you just go, and it charges your car up. So we did that. That was fairly painless. And then we tried another one, which might have been Electrify America or some other thing. And that let us just pay with a credit card at the thing and just pay there. But I have credits for a company called ChargePoint, so I have that app. The car has its own app through Hyundai. And that's also very funny because it has so much telemetry. My wife hates it. And I'm like, I get it. But like also it's kind of useful. So I know when you forgot to lock the doors when you're, then it's like, hey, the doors have been unlocked. You're not at home. I'm like, oh, wait, my wife probably forgot to lock the doors.
That's pretty good, honestly.
It is, but like the car is just talking to the air. It's not like it's just communicating on its network, whatever network that is. And that's kind of messed up a little bit, right? I guess you get used to it. So that's the thing I didn't realize was just how deep into apps. I now have a folder just for EV apps for this thing. Finding chargers is actually super easy. They were on the route from, at least in my corridor here, from the routes from Jersey to Pennsylvania. They were prolific. They were a lot of them. Now,
even in like what you would describe as a rural area,
they were better. There were more because there were more like Wawas in the rural area, more like truck stops that like have big enough space to have like 10 chargers in a space, right? Whereas where we are, Alex and I are, it's very dense. I don't think you could fit that amount of like charging infrastructure there. No. So they were actually, I found them to be better the more rural it got. Now, I wasn't in like deep rural Pennsylvania. This was like, highway Pennsylvania.
You're off the highway, yeah.
Any sign of renewables at those things? Because like the community college where we go to the electronics flea market in the South Bay, there's like giant overhead solar panels hooked up to all the EV charger stations.
Nah, not where I saw.
Sucking off the grid, huh?
Yeah. And I guess they can be, the other weird thing is they just charge whatever rates that they want to charge.
That's my real question is how long did you have to sit around waiting for charge?
So we pulled up, you can see on the apps whether they're empty. The apps have like notes being like, this one's by the Red Robin, like, or this one, these are really expensive. Don't go here. Our car charged at about 15 minutes on the fast charging ones, 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. From like what to what?
From like 20% to 80%.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It was really good. So that wasn't the problem. The problem is, I won't spend too much time here. The problem is we're coming from a Prius, which its sole purpose in life is to save you money on gas and do nothing else. That's it. That's the reason for its existence. So us spending $20 to fill up twice on that trip was like, this is kind of pricey, because we're coming from basically a box on wheels that is made to just be very fuel efficient. The Ioniq 5 is a luxury car, right? This is like a SUV crossover type car. It's a big car. It's got a lot of bells and whistles in it. I assume it's probably efficient for its class of car, but it is not going to beat the Prius. Like the Prius could make that trip, and we did that trip all the way there without filling up, right? We got 3 cars through the way there. I started feeling a little sketchy getting down below 30%. I was like, let's fill up, and then same thing on the way back. So there's that. But the other weird thing is 15 minutes with kids is just long enough where everybody's going to get a snack.
Okay.
So you have the knock-on cost now of the okay, well, let's all go inside. What do you guys want? And okay, here's an extra
Nothing
25.
with crumbs. We just bought this thing. No fucking corn nuts, no Fritos, no none of that.
My son's Dorito fingers all over
absolutely not.
It's more of like I'm probably on bigger trips like that. Just factor in an extra $15, for snacks and stuff.
I guess you have to. I definitely know the feeling, but you have to think about like probably I assume lower maintenance costs on the car and like
this is what I've heard. Yeah.
Mostly charging it at night with lower electricity rates, so like you're probably saving enough that it helps offset.
So this is really more about like a road trip style, right?
No, that's what I mean. Like those are probably infrequent enough that you're still coming out ahead.
And the other thing I've from talking to a lot of people that have kind of gone down this road is like you have to do a little bit more planning. Try and schedule it where you would normally stop to eat anyway, if you can do that, or factor in the time that it's going to take. 15 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but going off the highway, that's 10 minutes, right? You're going to
Mhm.
go to find the place, 15 minutes to charge, 10 minutes maybe to get back on. Now you're talking like 45 minutes. And whereas you might have been talking 25 minutes before, right? And if you're cutting it close, you need to be careful. So I think we need to get better at just planning the route out. We'll get more comfortable.
It's an adjustment. It's an adjustment from the way you used to live, and now you're finding your way to it.
Totally. And I think it's really interesting. I actually, the way I'll end this talking about it is, all those weird things aside, I actually find myself enjoying driving it. Like I'm I've talked a lot about it. I don't enjoy driving a lot. It's actually kind of fun to drive as a car. It's got different modes: eco mode, normal mode, and sport mode.
Ooh.
And Caravella has taken the car around this block here in sport mode quite a bit. It's a fun car to drive. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. Now when I drive our Prius, which we still have, it feels broken. It just doesn't move. Which it kind of is a little broken. It does need some work on it, but it's weird. It's fun. I think it's a cool car. I got to get used to it. We're having our charger installed here on Friday, which we still won't be able to use because there's a dumpster in our driveway, so the car can't reach the charger. But
wait, what is that? Or how's that different from plugging into the wall?
That's a level 2 charger, so it'll be faster.
Oh, all right then.
To unlock the level 3 charger, you just need to, progress further in the skill tree.
I do need about 500 more bananas to do that.
Got to level up your regenerative braking skill. Actually, did the Prius have that, or is that new?
Oh, okay. It has regenerative braking, but
it did.
I don't know if you're talking about the everybody calls it something different. The like smart pedal, the one pedal driving thing.
Yeah, whatever that is. Like everybody says, that's a huge adjustment.
That Prius did not have that. The had regenerative braking where it charges the battery when you use the brakes.
Yeah.
But that's the thing where like you just don't even use the brake often. You just pull off the pedal. Yeah, I've been trying to get used to it. It definitely takes some brain power to think about. Well, that's my journey into EVs. Do you guys have any journey into EVOs?
I mean, in that I watched it, I guess you could call that a journey. I didn't go to Vegas.
I've been doing a lot of cooking with EVO, if you want to talk about
some
bit of that.
extra virgin olive oil. Got it.
Yeah. No, it's a good olive oil.
Well, first, before we get into the fighting scene with the olive oil, let's talk about the EVO fighting scene.
I watched a lot of it. I didn't watch every single thing, but I saw a lot of the top 8s. It was a pretty good year all around. If there was a theme this year, I feel like maybe it was that a lot of the winners finals were a lot more exciting than the grand finals for the various games. You know how they do their tournament structure where it's like there's winners brackets and losers brackets?
Yes.
Okay. So in a number of games, I would say the matchups with the top 2 winners bracket people turned out to be way more hype than the ultimate grand finals matchups.
You can bounce back into a winner's bracket, right? If you win the loser's bracket, right?
If you fall down into losers, all you have to do is win your way back up.
That was always one of the most exciting things of StarCraft and Dota tournaments, is watching somebody fail out of the top whatever and then claw their way back and then win the whole thing.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that like the grand finals were bad this year in general. I think if I had a single complaint, it's that they really still need to figure out a way to do the grand finals Street Fighter thing before 11 p.m. Eastern time. I understand it's a Sunday night though, so it's like I had to watch that shit the next day. I could not stay up for it. But the Tekken finals were fucking fantastic. Arslan Ash really, really scaring everyone, thinking that he might be knocked down, and then just turning the switch and fucking winning like his 6th championship or something.
Oh, wow.
Who'd he win with?
I'm trying to remember. So he started out with Anna, if I remember correctly, and it was an Anna mirror match. And then that wasn't going great for him, so he swapped over to Nina, and that's what, like, as soon as he flipped that switch, he was just on. He won from there.
Okay. I know I've said it before, I love Tekken character names so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most fighting games have names like Scorpion and Blanca.
Yeah.
Tekken characters are like Brian and Paul.
Sure.
You get a couple of, like Jack, the variations, like Armor King being in there and whatnot, but like... I mean, one of the top 8 characters that got a lot of play, I think the 3rd place fighter ended up using him through most of it, was Clive from Final Fantasy, like the guest character. So I guess he's relatively top tier.
And that was EVO sanctioned? That's
yeah. No, I mean, any character that's in the game, as far as I know, is allowed. It's just kind of like, hey, are they any good or not?
Any new games? Like anything big in there that wasn't already out last year?
Not really. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves was kind of the big mark. Yeah, that was there. It was like kind of the second from, third from the last, I guess, technically. On the last day, their finals were Goichi of Street Fighter tournament fame. He ended up winning the Fatal Fury.
Great. Are there prize pools there's prize pool for every game?
Yes, there is. I don't remember what the exact numbers were, but it's, you get the golden joystick. There's some kind of prize pool to the winners and the various runners up.
Okay.
Any MK1, has that fully fallen out of? I'm sure it was there somewhere.
No, they had their finals on day 2. It was kind of the opening finals of day 2. But yeah, so here's the thing with that. The NetherRealm fighting scene is not super robust these days. It's a lot of the same players that in the finals this year that have been in a lot of the other MK finals. It was Sonic Fox and it was Nicolas again. And once again, Sonic Fox won. So that said, it was reasonably fun, but man, that game was kind of a slog to watch. I got to be honest with you. Like, even other recent MK stuff, I just felt like was more interesting. And I realized part of it is just the color palette of that game is very brown and sludgy. Like, there's not that really much that pops visually in Mortal Kombat 1 other than the fidelity of the characters.
Well, I think, I don't know that much about the fighting scene, but we saw that new Arc Marvel game, right? That's going to be coming out next year?
Yes.
So that's got some color. That's got some pop.
And Arc was well represented at this one. There were 2 different Guilty Gear games that got main stage finals, Strive, obviously, but Guilty Gear XRD or Xrd, whatever you want to call it, Rev 2. They also had a tournament for that up there, and shout out to former Giant Bomb freelancer and all-around video game, fighting game sage, Patrick Miller, for making top 8 for that.
Hell yeah. Man, those are some wild games. I don't even watch. I'm not even talking about the EVO stuff, just watching skilled players play.
Yeah. They also had like big tournaments for some of the old stuff too, like Capcom versus SNK 2 and Marvel versus Capcom 2 both got like main stage tournaments this year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good announcing?
Yeah, generally speaking, I felt like the announcing was pretty on point this year.
Good. That makes a big difference when I tune into that stuff because I can't follow. I don't know what's going on.
The thing they've gotten really good at is both the commentary, like audio, is generally very good now, and they are also usually on time. Like, stuff is not, like, dragging out for hours past when you think it's supposed to on the schedule. So they've nailed that stuff down. And if they can just figure out a way to get Street Fighter on the air by 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, I could probably live with that.
Just for your schedule.
Just for me, please.
That's cool. So, fairly drama-free.
Yes, I will also say the grand finals, final match, 7 minutes.
That's a long match.
No, it's not.
Wait, one match?
The whole round
was 7 minutes?
The whole set was 7 minutes.
Sorry, that's
the finals.
Sorry, I am. Consider me a novice here, but that's 3 matches.
That's basically 3 matches and done.
Huh.
Yeah, so Mena RD, I believe, I don't know if they were the first Dominican Republic winner, but they won this year, and I think they were the only Dominican Republic winner of any of the tournaments this year, and they just shredded.
Man,
interesting.
Nobody wants a blowout in the finals.
I mean, it was a pretty good journey to get there, I will say. Like, the build up to it was pretty great, but just like he turned something on, and it was just, there was nothing. There was nothing.
Just every tournament I've ever watched of those other games that ended up like 3-0 or 5-0 or whatever in the finals is just like, kind of hope for a little more drama and competitiveness in a finals than just watching the same person win over and over.
Yeah, sometimes, you dial in and that's just all it is.
They have round, I assume they do, but do you know, they have them turned on, but do you know what the round timers are in general? Is it like 1 minute timers, 99 seconds?
It's whatever the default for the game is, I think, generally.
Okay. Because I would imagine turning that off would suck.
I feel like it's tournament. Like usually like counts down from 100.
100, yeah. That seems
if I remember correctly.
About right.
Yeah.
That sounds fun, though.
Oh, it was great. It was a very good show. Again, there were plenty of very hype matches. I just feel like they weren't necessarily the grand finals in most cases.
Okay. EVO. Archives are up.
My one dalliance with the fighting game community every year is just tuning in for EVO, seeing what's going on, following the storylines, and then just being like, cool, see you guys next year.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Should we move into the video games that we've touched?
Sure.
Let's kick it off. Let's talk a little how you guys doing with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
How far are you?
I'm past all the stuff where the characters combine like Voltron, and you kind of get into the sections where they are together.
Yeah, that's where it feels like the real game starts, and I'm not sure how long it is. Do you know what level you're on? Like
3 something.
Okay, are you at the point where they're like, hey, there's 3 crystals you need to go get. Like, here's all the levels. Go do them.
I believe that has been mentioned, yes.
That's also where I'm at right now. I've gone back to it a couple times, and I've kind of like walked away annoyed both times. And didn't
frustrated?
Finish. Yeah. I don't know.
It's challenging.
It is. I don't know. It's like one of the boss fights. Also, do not quit a level on a boss fight in that game. It does not save any progress.
That's a bummer.
You will play through that entire level again from the beginning, and they're not short levels.
But you would checkpoint if you died on the boss?
Yeah. I think there's no concept of lives. You just start, or you just respawn endlessly until you beat the level.
But if you hard quit?
Yeah, but if you, let's say, rage quit the game.
Uh-huh.
That's what the suspend mode is for, generally.
Put it in suspend if you're on a boss and don't want to play the whole level again, I will say. But like, I mean, it plays well. I don't know what it is. Like there's a platforming challenge on one of the 2 levels there that it was one of those, Kudomi, I think is the name of the female character. Like you go into the
Spider Ninja
world.
Is how I refer to her.
Yes, the Spider Ninja lady. Like when you go into the spirit world with her, you know, those kind of quick platforming challenges. And like, I just kept missing the last jump on that time challenge over and over, because it was one of those where you throw a knife to hit a thing and then it teleports you to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out of that teleport, I could not get onto the platform you're supposed to drop onto. I know this is like kind of hard to visualize, but like, it felt like the spacing of the platform with the thing I was teleporting to was like just off enough that I couldn't understand why I wasn't landing on the platform.
Intentionally, you know what I mean? Just off enough, or unintentionally?
Maybe you're able to double jump out of that platforming thing in a way I don't realize, and that's how you get the extra distance. But I missed it like 3 times in a row, and I was just like, because it's at the end of this entire platforming challenge. And I was just like, I'm just going to turn this off now.
Okay, fair.
It definitely has its moments of frustration I've run into as well. I think that it's a good game to chap away at a level at a time and then go take a breather, because otherwise you're going to get into that kind of frustrating space you're talking about. I would agree with your original sentiment in that I think it is medium difficult overall. It is not like brutal by any stretch, but it just has these moments where you're like, this is just a little more fucked than I was hoping for.
That's exactly what it is. Like there's like, I have no problem breezing through 80% of each level, but there are these moments that feel kind of a little cheap, or like there's a little too much stacking up on the screen where it's hard to parse what's happening or whatever. Did you beat the sea monster boss?
I did.
Okay. I think that was the last one I killed, although I've seen a couple other bosses since then.
I did not enjoy that fight a great deal.
That one was rough.
Yeah.
How are you getting any other new powers as you progress after the combination of the characters?
Just the stuff that unlocks in the shop.
Yeah, like the special bonus things.
Oh, actually, yes. So the ninja lady, the ranged character who merges with you, like her regular attack. I think it's regular attack. No, I'm sorry. The regular, like what is it? Kunoichi. What's the?
Close. Kunai.
Kunai. Sorry. Yeah. What am I? Yes, I think a Kunoichi is a very different thing. Her regular like throwing knife never changes. It's her like kind of medium special attack and also her big attack. I'd have to go check. Anyway,
she gets like a special kunai at one point, but basically it's the same thing.
Yeah, but there are abilities like actual weapons on her to swap out. But the main character with the sword is fixed as far as I know.
So I guess at that point I'm asking, really, could you and Alex be up to the same challenge with a different loadout, have different abilities or different weapons?
You could change her stuff out, but those are pretty situational.
Okay.
She starts with like an arced, if I remember, it's like an arced throw spinning blade kind of thing. That's sort of like the axe in Castlevania, just like throwing a bunch of stuff in an arc. You can replace that with, I've got a thing now where like 4 sort of like, I don't know, energy beams or something pop out of her and start rotating, and those are like defensive. Like
okay.
Each time one of those takes a hit, it disappears. Like so
traversal and stuff, it would be the same, just mostly attacks.
As far as like the jump parry, double jumpy thing and stuff like that stuff does not change that I've seen so far.
Okay, interesting. I still haven't touched it yet. I do want to jump into it. I might just have a double dipping on ninja stuff at the end of the month here.
Shinobi's not super far off. Don't play this on Switch. I've seen a number of people who are playing it on Switch complain about the performance.
Even on Switch 2?
Yeah. Which maybe it'll get better there, but
runs well on a PS5. I'll say that.
But yes, like this is absolutely a game you don't want chunking up on you.
No. Like I wouldn't say it is like razor thin timing by any stretch. I feel like you can fudge certain things, but there is a degree of precision you do kind of need. And if the game starts chugging on you, that's no bueno.
No bueno.
No.
Anything else you want to say about Ragebound before we move on?
I'm just enjoying having a ninja action game of some
a new
notes.
ninja action game.
Yeah, it's I think spiritually it's close enough to the vibe of the original like side-scrolling Ninja Gaidens while still kind of feeling like its own thing. I lament the lack of Ryu Hayabusa in my life, but I can go without for a while. It's fine. He'll be in Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yeah, I was going to say end of this year, right?
That's 3D Ryu, which is kind of different, but it's fine.
It is kind of different. Somebody described his latter-day get-up as like the S&M version of him. Like that.
It's leathery. It's much more leathery, yeah.
Leather, black leather, and like metal accents kind of stuff.
Sure. It's like the new X-Men, or not the new, but the 90s X-Men.
It would need more straps to be fully S&M-y, but...
Sorry, did that game get pushed, or is it still Ninja Gaiden? As far
as I know, it's still coming.
This year?
I don't know if it's still coming this year, but I don't remember it getting pushed.
Okay.
Did they put a date on that? Yeah, October.
Okay. Well, that is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Before we hit the break, I want to talk a little bit about Donkey Kong Bananza. That is where I spent the majority of my time, and I have seen credits in that game. I am still playing that game. I think that game actually, amazingly, because a lot of games just don't do this, but credit to them, gets better as you go along. Like I think the interest curve on that game actually continues up past credits in a fun way, because a lot of the more challenging, more complicated, I would even say more creative things happen post credits in the epilogue-ish world of that game, and there's plenty to do there. So I'm spending a lot of time in those challenges where I found the 90% of the main game to be fun and enjoyable, but a breeze. It's really not complicated at all. There's one boss fight I found frustrating, and that was. It was one of those things, Brad, you were just talking about that platforming and missing that last jump a lot. It's one of those things where I feel like I was doing this and be like, am I just missing a mechanic here? Is there just a mechanic I don't know about for this part? Because they're asking me to do some timing based stuff here, and this game is not at its best when there is tight timing. Donkey Kong. It's fun when you're doing a lot of destructive, goofy stuff, but doing precise movements and things was not fun, and there was a lot of opportunity to fall or get knocked off, and that game does have weird boss run screens that don't take very long, but long enough where you'd be like, this would be much better if we just start at the boss. I don't need to spend, even if it's 45 seconds, running back up to the boss. Right. So I think that game is actually I would go from good to great on this one, because I think once you're in the post-game stuff, there are really fun puzzle challenges to do. Some are timed, and they can be frustrating, but it's a mind and dexterity challenge, because you're swapping between a lot of abilities. You're trying to figure out how to use, now that you have everything in your arsenal, how do you use them well? How can you cheat the game? How can you get around stuff? So I'm actually really, really enjoying the post-game and spending all of my hard-earned gold. I just bought something for 120,000 gold in that game.
I mean, again, gold it's a joke. There's so much gold.
It's so much gold. It was all my gold, and then
how many apartments did you buy?
Everyone I ran up against.
Okay.
So
what?
Yeah.
There's these rest stations all scattered throughout the game that are like, hey, do you want to buy a rest area here? And when you go there, you can sleep, and you get a little interstitial bit if it's the first time you're there, where
she's always talking to you.
Pauline has something she wants to say to you. It's always dumb, but it's funny.
What you thinking about?
Yeah, what you think? Just gorilla stuff. But the sleeping gives you bonus hearts, and the more of those you buy in a world, the higher number of bonus hearts you get over time. I think up to like 5 or 6 or something, or maybe it goes higher once you get further down. But
I think it might be 4. I don't know.
I think it's 5. It's definitely 5 because I've gotten 5 at a time.
Okay. Yeah, like you get a little butler too, and he asks for a tip if you use him.
And you can change your outfits there and stuff too. So
I do have some pet peeves with that game, even though now that I'm kind of just trying to get stuff moving here. You get these things that are chips, and I have like thousands of them, and you can trade them in for the upgrade currency, which is the banana, right? The banana gem.
How many bananas did you end up with when you?
I have
saw credits.
Oh, when I saw credits, probably around 550-ish.
Okay,
bananas.
It's interesting because I don't know exactly how far back I am from where you ended up, but I think so I just hit the point where you branch into one of 2 different worlds, either the ice or the forest.
Yeah.
I have like 200.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like a lot or not a lot.
The only reason I know is you hit gates in the post game that are like, you need 500 bananas, 400 bananas for this thing.
Yeah.
And it tells you exactly how many bananas you have.
Okay.
I kind of judged it more by, there was a while in the tech tree where I was like, there's nothing really I want here. And again, then in the post game, I was like, oh crap, I want all of these things. And now I'm doing a lot more banana hunting. I put all my money into one column in that game, and I'm not going to spoil it because it's my favorite thing in the game. But there was one Bananza that I just loved, and I just maxed that one out, and kind of at the expense of most of the other ones, unless they were passive abilities. It was a really fun one. And I will say you even get more abilities post game. So a lot behind the post game wall that I think is really worth seeing and interesting, because the lead up to that, the last few levels are very interesting and well done, but there was a middle chunk there where I was starting to be like, let's just move on through here. Like, I'm not enjoying this maybe as much as it wants me to, with the destruction. But later on, when everything comes together and they really make a big meal out of all the different aspects of the game, you see the creativity and stuff really firing.
Yeah. Are there any new levels? Like I remember, I'm trying to think. I feel like Odyssey had like actual stuff post game, like the Mario 64 castle only opens up after credits, I think, in that game, and there might have been something else.
So you do you kind of get revisited levels that can change a bit. So some of the areas just are changed up and some things is fun, especially that starting zone. There was one weird thing I'm going to mention here, because I don't think it's a spoiler.
Okay.
And I'm so curious to know what the hell is going on here. But so you beat the game, and then you can go and you kind of continue playing. And it's not like they reload a save. You just continue playing, and you're back, and you're post whatever story stuff happens in the game. And you meet a chimp who's like, hey, DK, do you remember when this all started? And you could be like, yeah, okay. He's like, close your eyes and remember. And you basically start the game over, but from a level. You can exit out of it at any time, but you basically see the beginning story again, and you start playing the game reset back to the beginning of the thing. And I want to know what happens if you beat the game in the dream and then get to the post credits and find that guy again.
You have to go deeper.
Can you keep inceptioning into... Yes.
Eventually, you just keep inceptioning your way into just being Mario dreaming about King Wart.
I'm kind of curious. I started again, and I was just like, wait, I think this is just the game again. So maybe something's different, and maybe it stops at some point. I exited out of it, but I thought that was so weird. Maybe it's if like you missed the thing, a missable collectible you need to get to. I have no idea. It was a weird thing, but big thumbs up for how that game wraps up in terms of fun and puzzles and creativity. I really want to give it its due. It really comes together. I really quite enjoyed it, even though now I'm in that banana grind. And I also have to give it up to them for just breaking the game. Like, Donkey Kong is on the like tier list of world enders by the time you are done with that game. If he shows up, it is basically Galactus or like Hulk or something. Your world is done. Like it is. You may have just watch out. I have just destroyed entire nations at this point with Donkey Kong, leaving nothing left. It is amazing how much ability they give you to just destroy everything.
That sounds fun.
It's pretty fun. That is Donkey Kong Bonanza. Again, if you're chewing through it, maybe feeling a little bit of a slog, I recommend pushing through and maybe getting to some of the more challenging things post credits. I found them to be a lot of fun. Let's take a quick break here. We have a couple of other games we can touch on in our B block.
Whoa.
That's the block after this one. The B block, but we'll get to that after this break. So stick around. This week's show is brought to you by Factor. Alex Navarro.
Yes, Vinny.
You know what the most expensive thing in my life is?
That EV you just bought?
Okay.
That basement you're currently retrofitting?
That's a second.
The garage you just redid?
That's okay, yes, those are very expensive. Time, Alex Navarro, time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's the most expensive thing for all of us.
It's the most expensive thing. You know who gets it? Factor. Factor says, Vinny, I know your time. You can't even put a price on your time. So what if when you went to the fridge, we just had a meal that is ready to heat up. It is chef prepared. It is dietitian approved. It is ready for you to just consume, and you don't have to think about it. And you, Vinny, can get on with your very time-sensitive lifestyle.
Your very expensive life. I mean, that sounds to me like not only are they providing you with delicious food, but they are literally giving you back your life.
Wow, Factor has all the keys here. Factor not only is giving me back my life, they are letting me choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. And for the first time, you can try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. Alex, and that's why 90% of customers say that Factor has helped them live a healthier life. How can you get in on this action? Well,
I'd love to know.
How can you have Factor help you out in this way?
Please tell me.
It's factormeals.com/Nextlander50 off and use code Nextlander50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Nextlander50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Thanks, Factor. All right, we are back, and we have some more games to touch on here. Let's see. Let's talk about Abiotic Factor, a game that came into 1.0. We played it on a stream, and I have to say, that time just melted away. I lost track of time.
You found a way to make it rhyme. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And,
we streamed that a year ago when it went into early access.
Yeah.
That is the Half-Life, but a survival game.
Yep.
Like, they're really not pretending.
No.
In fact, I don't know if this was in the early access version when we streamed it the first time, but we basically went to Zen already.
Yeah. I don't remember going there, but
you know, the alien world from Half-Life, like they straight up have you port there to get materials and stuff. It's very unapologetic about its influence.
Yeah, and it's cheeky, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you play as a crew of scientists ish that are in this facility trying to survive, making armor out of magazines and tray tables and
like weapons out of aliens.
Yeah, and you're just crafting, and you know you're running the crafting loop basically within this. But it's I would say the difference between some other crafting games is it is styled in the Half-Life universe with that graphical style, and B, there's something a little more minutia about it. I don't know how I'm trying to express this. Like the cooking, the crafting, everything feels a little more in the details than some other crafting games that are at the macro level. This feels a little more on the micro level, if that makes sense. Like you're even generating concepts for ideas in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely dense. I'm a little sad to see the UI has not really evolved since it launched into early access. Like the UI is a bit busy. and maybe a little cluttered in spots.
I think the UI could probably use a pass. The other thing I think from just our time with it, which is a couple of hours, is the multiplayer recipe sharing should have another think. You know, you kind of have to actively share recipes when in proximity with other people, and that just seems like a busy work.
And it's kind of hard to keep track of which recipes you do and don't have relative to other people, unless you and that crafting, especially if you look at the all recipes menu, is like one of the most cluttered, just like blocks of icons I have ever seen in a video game. So it's a little hard to see what you've got and what you don't have and stuff. But
there's a sleeping really mini game. There's a bathroom mini game.
Yeah, like the let's say the survival upkeep is pretty aggressive in that game. Although you can take perks that help with that, but like hunger, thirst, fatigue, bathroom needs are all ticking down like pretty rapidly. And that game goes up to, I think, 6 people. And at first I was like, oh, that would make things a lot easier to get stuff crafted faster and stuff. But also I doubt they adjust like the amount of food in the world and stuff based on number of players. And like, we've really been scrounging for food the first couple hours.
I didn't realize you were carving up all the enemies for meats at first, but you need a knife to do it.
So I didn't, the meat is all irradiated that comes out of the aliens, and I did not realize that cooking the meat would remove the radiation.
Just like real life.
So yes, of course. That's exactly how that works. So we should have a bit better of a time feeding ourselves going forward.
And there's a interesting power cycle where I think there's like 12 hours on, in game time.
The facility shuts off the electricity at night. Like electricity, like the same thing with Astroneer, like adding like power and modular plugging stuff in mechanics, let's say, always makes crafting stuff way better for me.
Well, at least more interesting, right?
Yeah, yeah, because like you have to plug in the crafting station to be able to do most of the recipes, but like we said, the power goes off at night, but you can craft batteries and put those in line with the electrical stuff, so the battery charges during the day, and then you've got some power at night, and et cetera, et cetera.
And there are perks and like you said, abilities that you can invest in, and I guess there are soft classes, but it's basically just where do you want to start with perks or points in the system? Because
you level by doing like kind of old Elder Scrolls style.
Yeah.
Like you're not quite running around jumping everywhere to get athletics up, but it's kind of that sort of thing.
Carving. I enjoyed it. We should do it again.
Yeah, it's very fun. Week. And like it's got a story, and like if somewhat unique to crafting games, it's all inside. It's all in a human constructed facility, like most survival crafting games are set outdoors primarily. Right. But this is all inside of a Half-Life style, like Black Mesa kind of complex.
Yeah.
So there's a bit more of a Metroid vibe to their story objectives, and you're trying to unlock access to like the next sector and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes. I didn't even think about it like that, but you're right. Yes. You're, as you like get new corridors and stuff unlocked instead of like, how do you break the spider web? Right.
Right. It's like, we need to get up to level 3. We need to like power this door to get access to the manufacturing sector or whatever.
And it gives it, that does give it also kind of a Dead Rising-ish vibe of just crafting things out of detritus, human man-made goods. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Abiotic Factor 1.0. I believe it's on Xbox and PlayStation as well.
It's got, when I started the PC version this time, it asked me to enable crossplay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have a crew, probably worth checking out. Really, also proximity chat and some dopey lip flapping, which in this economy, I'll take it.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they got the voice actor for Dr. Kleiner from Half-Life for this game.
Why wouldn't you? I'm continuing playing another crafting game here, survival game, Grounded 2 in early access. My kids and I are still playing it. I think that game feels harder than the first one, though it might just be because this is like out of the gate early access. In a team, you can team up and group up with killing the bugs a lot easier. Solo, I'm having a bit of a hard time anytime we get separated soloing, and I find the combat can use some tuning to my taste here. But we hit the point, I feel like, earlier on than we normally do in a crafting game, where it's like, okay, we need to just sit down and work on our fundamentals here. What is our food need? What is our water need? It's a stamina, food, hydration economy here. Okay, who's going to work on cooking? Who's going to work on this? Let's make sure we have water every morning in this. every morning. Otherwise, we're kind of sunk here. So it is early access, very early access. And from Grounded 1, I know that game went through a lot of iterations. So I'm curious to see how that evolves. And I think specifically, I should go watch, now that I played a bunch of it, some of their roadmap talks. But I know they've tuned certain things to get players fast tracked into certain areas so they can test it, like the buggies and things like that.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to play Grounded on Monday when we streamed, but it was like, here's one crafting survival game that is technically like done 1.0.
Yeah.
Here's the other one that just entered early access. Like, let's play the one that's like polished and kind of done.
Yeah. This
hold
one
off on the other one.
Grounded 2, I think, is a really great start and leaning off of a lot of Grounded 1 stuff. But I do think I've looked at their roadmap. I think they're going to add a lot more content that's worth waiting for.
Yeah.
As they test stuff out. Let's see what else here. Brad, tell me about Rhythm Storm.
Yes, I've mostly been playing some, let's say, arcade style action stuff this week.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of games that are worth waiting for, we talked about this like 2 years ago, I think it was. This game had a demo on Steam Next Fest, I believe, like over 2 years ago now.
Okay.
This is the same developer as Instruments of Destruction.
A game I liked.
Yes, that game rules. I've actually spoken briefly to this developer in the past and like did a little feedback on Rhythm Storm and stuff, but
Instruments of Destruction is a very physics-based.
Yeah, we streamed some of that. That's like that's way up there in the like physics-based.
Yeah,
design vehicles to destroy the environment and challenges and go on Steam Workshop and download ridiculous. Like, that was a fun stream. I kind of got the sense this is a game he had kind of worked on the side of that here and there. It is kind of a Geometry Wars, but A, it's a lot more slowly paced. B, it's way more now. So this is what's changed since that demo. Like, it's mostly like the core action is the same. It's mostly like sort of the meta progression of how you get new abilities, and like now you're collecting experience points to cash into a sort of perk tree and to buy new vehicle types, new like ship types. Yeah, like that progression has changed dramatically since and even mid run, because it's a run based game, how you get powers has changed now. Now
it used to be cards or abilities, right? Or
kind of now. So now you're picking which categories of power ups you would like to see appear in the every time you level up. It's because it's the full on roguelike of every time you level. Hey, here's 2 sets of powers to pick from. But that too has changed. I don't need to get into all the minutia of like specifically how abilities are doled out. But now when you start your it's when you start your run, but also every time you get to the next world, it'll say like, here's 6 categories that are relevant to the ship you're using. It's like firepower, speed, drones if it's a drone ship, on and on. It's like body weapons, turret weapons, etc. You pick like 4 of those categories. It's like I want drops for speed and more drones and better turrets or something like that. And so you can only pick so many of those categories for the run, and then that's the type of abilities that'll sort of drop as you level.
And you're adding to those every time you beat a level, or you're replacing?
Yes, you keep all that stuff when you hit the next world. I have not beaten a run on normal yet, so in fact I haven't gotten past World 2 on normal yet. It's pretty challenging. Probably the biggest thing to know about this compared to something like Geometry Wars is it's much more slow moving at the start, and it's also like Geometry Wars is just one shot, one kill on every enemy. It's purely a skill based like arcade challenge. This is way more about grinding out better damage output through faster weapons, more powerful weapons, more types of weapons, whatever. Because straight up, the first 2 or 3 times I've gotten to World 2 of a basic run on normal, just do not have the damage output to cut through the swaths of enemies coming at me.
Oh, you just get overwhelmed?
Yeah, 100%. You're not fast enough. You can't kill fast enough. Like, you just get swarmed and can't fight your way through it. So it's absolutely much more a game about making more intelligent choices about how to spec as the abilities drop in a run, but also cashing in that XP you're earning per run to get better ships and more perks and stuff like that. So
interesting.
It's a bit more of a game of attrition and like thinking about a build as opposed to like pure arcade action. Also, it is the most particle effects I have ever seen in a video game ever, bar none.
A stream ender.
Like, it is fucking crazy. Like, if you thought Geometry Wars was bad on your video encoder, play this game. My God, man. It's like kind of hard to see what's going on at times, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Funny.
Somebody on our Discord said this game looks incredible on their OLED monitor, and I bet it does.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty good on my LCD monitors, too.
It's only on PC for now, right?
Yes, this would work just fine on console. I'm playing it with a controller. In fact, I hope there are console versions of this. It's
Rhythm
pretty
Storm,
rad.
$10.
Yeah, music is great. Like visual. I mean, this again, like music and visuals kind of have not changed a ton since 2 years ago.
Okay.
When that demo came out, but it looks incredible. Like synchronized, like visuals and music sort of synchronize, like play off each other in ways that are kind of hard to. You just need to see it. It's hard to describe. You know, like the menus sort of pulse with the beat and stuff like that. Like the visual flair along with the sound design is just like really top notch.
Synesthesia.
There are some synesthetic qualities to it, I suppose, a little bit.
Rhythm Storm available on the PC. You played it on Steam?
Yeah, I think it's only on Steam right now.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on Epic or not. I'm not sure.
But $10 out now.
Yeah, if you're looking for that style of dual joysticks, like hard ass, you know, action arcade game, it's pretty good.
I walked into the room the other day and my son was just playing Geometry Wars.
Great.
Just
great.
Like, what are you doing? Who you been talking to?
Mum's the word. Okay. It occurred to me while I was lying in, like, I was half awake, waking up in the bed this morning for some reason. It just hit me. It's August. We are 3 months out now from the 20th anniversary of the Xbox 360. So the clock is really ticking now to see if they're going to do anything with the anniversary of Geometry Wars.
Who's got that?
Microsoft now.
They still got it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they bought Activision.
Oh,
because Activision
forgot about that one.
Activision took possession of it when they bought Bizarre Creations.
Yeah. Okay.
But then Microsoft kind of got it back when they bought all of Activision. So Microsoft owns both the Xbox 360 and Geometry Wars now.
Okay, help me out here, and I'm sure I'll Google this just to save us some time. But didn't Geometry Wars 3 get put out by someone that wasn't?
Yeah, Sierra published that, but that was because Sierra is also a brand that was part of the. That's
right.
Part of the Vivendi Activision complex,
right?
At the time, like
they
Sierra,
shunted it down. I remember that
they briefly turned Sierra into a like EA Partners or somewhere between an EA Partners and a Devolver level. Like, hey, we're going to use Sierra as the brand to put out like indie games or like small
a private division, if you will,
small downloadable games. But then,
don't you dare!
That did not last very long. Geometry Wars 3 is okay.
Yeah, it never really registered with me.
There's a lot in there, but it's not quite. It was not quite there for me.
The beauty of that game is in its simplicity.
What would you for an anniversary for a?
Oh man, dude, I've been banging this drum for
what would you want?
A minimum of a year. I'm just going to try to remember because I've laid the whole thing out. Like, all you need to do is take the original game. You should get Stephen Cakebread involved.
Okay.
Like, just not upres it, like kind of re-engineer it so that it runs at native 4K, like good, tasteful, well done HDR.
Okay.
120 frames per second.
Okay.
$5.
That's it.
That's the crucial point for me.
$5
is that you
native
need to put
4K.
You need to put that out for $5 because you need to remind people of the mind-blowing moment that they downloaded Geometry Wars for $5 and were like, oh my God, games can be amazing and $5 now.
I see.
Because that was the launch of the 360, you know, like they had barely even done downloadable games on the original Xbox at all. Steam was like 2 years old at that point. Like, downloadable games were not even hardly a thing.
What about free?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
That would also be great, but you know, modern day Microsoft seems to like to make money, so I'm not holding my breath on that one. The point is they better not do this and go charge like $20 for it, because that's
$19.99.
That's defeating the purpose. Like, you don't need to do a lot to this, just make it look and run at kind of up to modern standards. And maybe put some new achievements in there. You don't need to go like make a bunch of new modes or
doesn't need multiplayer.
No, definitely
needs
not.
leaderboards.
Yes, it needs leaderboards, like maybe some new achievements. Like, I would be fine with some new achievements, but don't mess with your core game. Just make it look better.
Brad, what if I told you they are making a Tetris style 100 Tetris 100?
I mean, Geometry Wars 99, I would not be opposed to something weird like that as well.
You played Geometry Wars in a tiny little box with
that
99
actually
other people.
Sounds fucking crazy. I would be way into that idea.
What if it somehow becomes a Switch exclusive?
That's also fine. I could live with that. I mean, it's Microsoft, so they wouldn't do that.
But you couldn't play it in that little box. You'd lose your mind.
Oh well, I mean, you'd have full size. You'd have close to a full size play field with some UI around the edges, I guess.
Would you want, okay, now we're just armchair designing here, but would you want something where like every time you use a bomb, other players get more enemies on their screen?
Yeah, I mean, that's the essence of that game type, is sending shit at other players, so you'd have to come up with something there. I'm not quite sure how you do that.
Destroy a black hole, the black hole goes somewhere else.
Yes, this weekend was a Donkey Kong Bonanza Maximus Cup for Tetris 99, which I played and got. So I've got the Tetris 99 stuff on the brain again right now.
You're still in it. Well, there it is. That's a 20th anniversary coming up. When?
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, November. Okay. I'm not holding my breath for anything to happen. I'm sure.
You know what? I'm hoping to just no more layoffs.
I'm sure. Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll at least acknowledge the anniversary of the console, but I'm not expecting any like special products or anything. So we'll see.
Alex, take me down a tour of what's new in RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business.
It's more climbing up a tour than taking you down a tour, but sure.
Take me up the tower.
Many, if you've ever heard me talk about the previous RoboCop game from this developer, you've probably heard me say that it's way better than it probably has any right to be. That is not to say it is an amazing game, but it is a really solid 7 out of 10 type game where it just kind of nails the tone of RoboCop. It's just good enough shooting.
Sure.
Like, there's some writing around the edges that is surprisingly decent, and also Peter Weller is there and does not sound bored.
Okay.
So, like, it has a lot of the things you would want from a RoboCop thing. So this new thing, which I had thought was just DLC for the original game, but is not, is a $30 standalone, not a sequel, but a follow-up is how I would probably put it, where it is Dredd. It is the movie Dredd. You are going to a big crime tower that has been overtaken with mercenaries, and you are RoboCop instead of Judge Dredd.
Are there levels as such? Like you hit an elevator and you go up a little bit, or you just keep going?
From what I played of it, it seems like, yeah, that's the progression, is you clear out a floor. There's maybe some story stuff around the edges that happens there, but then you just kind of move on to the next section.
Big question, because I didn't see your playthrough. Is there a giant shaft in the middle of the tower that you can throw people down?
Sure seems like it, because when you walk into the lobby of the place, it is literally the lobby of the tower from Dredd. It is that big open concrete space. Yeah. There are people milling around, and it does look like you can look all the way up and kind of see the floors. Though some of the floors I've been on, I have not really been in a space where I went back out to see that railing or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe that comes into play later.
All right, because I think you can throw people out windows in RoboCop, right? You can grab them.
That's one of his key traits as a law enforcement officer.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, aside from the kind of this seems like a little more tower-based RoboCop, very similar to Rogue City in terms of gameplay, as far as you remember.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like. How do I put this? Rogue City it wasn't an open world exactly, but it felt a little bit more open area, and there were like more like side things you would kind of wander into from time to time. But this is a little bit more focused. There might be more side stuff as you go along. I haven't really run into very much of it up to this point, but it does seem fairly focused on hey, you need to just get up this fucking tower and shoot all these guys.
Okay, and I assume progressively harder as you go.
I mean, I assume so. I haven't gotten that far into it, but you know, it is more of that.
Decent amount of like story, like dialogue scenes and stuff along the way. It's not just a like challenge level based thing.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed the character you met who was a giant RoboCop fanboy, but refused to believe you were the real RoboCop and was very dismissive about it. Like there's some like fun writing in there.
Yeah. And that's of a piece with kind of how the last game was written.
Murphy will find his humanity at the top of the tower.
I think that ship has sailed.
I guess this is set between RoboCops 2 and 3.
Yeah, saving themselves some room for a sequel that takes place during 3.
There was a reference to Kane and Nuke in there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And then some people in chat said there are references to RoboCop 3 in there, which, great. Okay.
It's a bad movie.
RoboCop Rogue City, unfinished business. Yeah, I guess you can go finish that business. Finally here.
Yeah.
Brad Shoemaker. Earthion.
It's the most interesting release of the week to me.
Earthion.
Of course it is. It's a Sega Genesis game.
A new Sega Genesis.
Yeah, this is the Yuzo Koshiro. People don't know is the like legendary fucking composer of everything from Revenge of Shinobi to ActRaiser to you name it. Like one of the best, like arguably like the best composer of the 16-bit era. This is his studio Ancient, which somebody wrote in a correction. I had thought this was a recent company he had started. Apparently, Ancient has been around since the 90s. Like this has been his company for quite some time, and I'm not sure who he's working with, but it's a studio. You know, they have been working on this game for a while. It is okay. It's a side-scrolling shooter in the vein of a Gradius, or in Genesis terms, a Thunder Force or a Darius or whatever. It's a Genesis game, but it's only out on Steam right now. Is probably the best way to say it. So this is one of those where like the question surrounding it right up until release was, is there just going to be a ROM in there you can grab and like play it on a Genesis? Because, you know, there's all kinds of ways to do that now.
Well, like, just to clarify, not a Genesis-like game. A Genesis game.
This is made to run on a Genesis. Yeah, in fact, they have announced there is a cartridge. There is a Genesis Mega Drive cartridge release of this coming, but not until next year, probably.
Like, programmed to run on a Genesis.
It is absolutely is made to run on a Genesis. And like other games like this have done this in the past, where they like literally made it a marketing bullet point saying like, hey, you buy the Steam version, the ROM is just in there in the directory.
Right. You
can just put that on your flash cart and go. They have not chosen to do that here. Instead, the Genesis, it turns out now that it's out, the Genesis ROM is in the Steam release, but it's encrypted, which I feel kind of bad for them. I'm afraid this may have turned into like the worst of both worlds, because of course somebody managed to decrypt the ROM within like 24 hours of the Steam version coming out.
Yeah.
But they're not selling the ROM. So now the ROM is just out there.
And getting passed around.
Because it has to be, because that's the only way, because the average person doesn't know how to decrypt it from their Steam install, even if they buy the game. So that's the only way to get it. So now the ROM is just being circulated to the point that Koshiro has been out there on Twitter saying, like, please buy the game on Steam. Please don't just play the ROM. Like, we're a tiny studio. Like, we really need your support.
Yes. But it's not, but I guess what, and something that I think you're getting to or alluding to is, but if you buy it on Steam, you will not get access to an decrypted ROM.
If you go buy it on Steam, do whatever you want. Like, as long as you give them money, go grab the ROM all day and you're fine. Like, you've supported them.
Right. Well, it says you, but that's not what they're saying.
Yeah.
Well,
they are not making it easy for you to take that ROM out.
Sure. I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you paid them full price for the Steam version, they would be fine with you doing whatever.
Right.
Like, his reasoning is somewhat sound. Like, they've already updated the Steam version once, and sure enough, in the patch notes, it's like, hey, updated the like, I forget what the wording is, but they literally put a new version of the game, the core game, in there. Like, they've rolled out a new version. They're still working on the game, I guess. They're still fixing bugs and stuff. So, like, the reasoning is like, hey, we don't want to do the physical cartridge release until the game is extremely done, because we only get one shot at manufacturing that. We can't update that basically after the fact, right? And they're doing I read some of his Twitter replies. They are doing a real ass proper run of the cartridge. It's not some weird repro whatever. Like, they're getting actual ROMs manufactured like a real Genesis cart.
Right, and you won't be able to update that later.
Right. So, like, I kind of understand their perspective, and even in the case of if you buy the Steam version, you're still going to have to go out there every time they update it and try to find an updated ROM that somebody has dumped from the game. All that said, sorry.
Well, is your Steam version running off of the ROM? Is the wrapper for the Steam?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason
packed in there.
No. I mean, it's but the Steam version I've played both. I've played the Steam version, and I also grabbed that ROM and put it on my Mister. It also apparently it works on an EverDrive just fine, like, you know, typical flash carts.
Right.
The Steam version, aside from like wanting to play it on a CRT or whatever, like, the Steam version is kind of definitely better right now, because it's got built-in achievements, and there's like all the how to play stuff is in the Steam client and not in, like, when I played it first on the Mister and was like kind of not grasping all the mechanics, because it's got some fairly dense mechanics. And then in the Steam version, there's just a how to play screen that, like, in 30 seconds, I was like, oh, that's how that works. Oh, that's what that does.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the Steam version is absolutely the more complete experience right now.
Yeah. Well, you'd have the manual with your cart.
Right. Yes, that's exactly that. The game itself seems pretty rad.
Cool.
I don't know. I've made it to level 4 so far. It's, like I said, it's a side-scrolling shooter, not a vertical shooter. your Gradius Life Force, whatever.
Performance wise, similar on.
So, I mean, how long do you want me to sit here and talk about the technicalities of reproducing old consoles? There's 2 Genesis cores on the Mister.
Okay.
One of them is cycle accurate. That's the one I played this game on.
Yeah.
There was definitely some slowdown in the later levels, like some not game breaking, but absolutely.
That guy's more sprites are on the screen.
Yes, some slowdown that may not exist in the Steam version. I don't know how they're doing things there. And even the other Genesis core on the Mister, I think, has enhancements to run things faster than hardware.
Interesting.
Where that slowdown might not show up. So it may not actually even be the fully intended experience yet.
Right, because this is an unreleased, unofficial release.
It's unfinished. The core Genesis game is unfinished, as they would put it.
They could optimize it more for that platform.
It's possible. I mean, obviously there are some pretty strict limits on old consoles for a number of sprites on screen. There may not be much they can do, but
this is the team to do it, right?
So like there are definitely things in this. It's always fun seeing modern developed old console games because they have gotten so much better at squeezing stuff out of the hardware. Like there's voice in this game. This is a cartridge game, a Genesis cartridge game, but there's some amount of voice in there, like digital, digitized speech. Your ship goes 3D at times. I don't know if that's an actual 3D model or not, but like the ship, it's a sprite when you're playing, but occasionally like for cutscenes, it'll like fly in and out of the screen and it'll turn kind of 3D as it like flies at you and stuff, which is it's definitely like stuff that I feel like I wouldn't have seen on a Genesis back in the day.
Do you think this is maybe outside of our wheelhouse here, but maybe you know the answer to this? Aside from what's in the console, on the cart, could you today fit more because of storage and RAM prices and keep the cart price at a comparable price?
I have no idea what ROM like manufacturing. He mentioned on Twitter that there are way fewer. One of the reasons the release is next year is there are way fewer factories out there now that can do this kind of manufacturing. So it's actually probably
more expensive,
pretty expensive to get this run done.
I just wonder if you can like fit more like RAM and storage on the cart now.
I think this is a little bit over my skis. I think there are hard limits about like how much the console itself can address in a way that like, because I've seen that I think there have to be enhancements to like flash carts and stuff to be able to handle ROMs bigger than a certain size.
Okay.
So, but you might be able to pack that hardware onto the cartridge. Actually, I don't know. Like
interesting.
They've done all kinds of weird stuff with memory mappers inside of cartridges.
Damn. Okay.
I was actually talking to a friend of the show, Steve Lynn. This is a bit of an aside over the weekend. I can't remember what the game in question was or the chip, but there was a certain chip that had become extremely valuable to, I can't even remember what field this was. It was some kind of like retro game or console restoration where it's like, oh, like we need to like try to harvest more of these CPUs for this restoration project, and these CPUs are getting rare, and so the prices on them are going way up.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm not blowing up his spot here because I can't remember the chip or the cartridge or any of this stuff, but he found out that, like, this goes back to putting weird hardware on specific cartridges to do all kinds of stuff back in the day. There was a specific no-name game that nobody's ever thought about that every copy of that game out there shipped with that CPU on the cartridge.
Yeah.
It's like a Super FX style thing, it's an add-on chip that they put in there to do something extra. So he just
suddenly Stunt Race FX is being scooped up.
Right. Yeah. So like people in the know were able to go scoop up a bunch of because those carts were selling for nothing because nobody cares about that game. He was able to source a bunch of extra CPUs by just buying old copies of that game when the actual CPU itself was going for way more.
A quick aside here. I always find the tooling up of a big factory kind of an amazing thing, and what I would love to dig deeper into it at some day and take a real nose close view at how you do that for one product, right? For if you're going to spin up a factory to make molds and do all this stuff for a run, because I collect Transformers and G.I. Joes and stuff, and imagine spinning up a factory to just make this mold of this Transformer and then having to change the molds later on just seems like what a waste of time.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work and money. And it's so fabrication of like you said, like who's left with the molds for the carts, the PCBs for the carts, right? Like who is like, we make like 100,000 of these maybe a year in some weird thing. Half of them are keychains or something, like what is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's where you get, like the limited runs of the world spring up to service these kind of like niche, passionate fan communities. Although like Limited Run is its own huge can of worms because they haven't been great all the time about the products they offer and stuff. But anyway.
Yeah. Interesting. So Earthion. So what is the solution?
Seems rad. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
First of all, buy it, right?
If you're going to play it, buy the Steam version now.
Okay.
Like if you want to go download that ROM, please give them $20 because they put a lot of work into this game. It's very good from what I've seen of it.
Okay.
It's interesting to play because the way it's balanced is very much not like a lot of the shooters from the time. Which is to say it's not a one-hit kill game at all.
Oh.
In fact, you have shields. I know some shooters from back in the day let you get hit more than once, but this one really feels like an extreme example of that. You've basically got like Halo-style shields on your ship. Yeah, the shields recharge very quickly.
Huh.
Which is good because this game would be completely unplayable if it was a one-hit kill. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, I would not have gotten past the first level if this was get touched and you're dead.
Huh.
You've got shield segments that recharge. I'd say, like, you can be one hit from death and then you'll be back to full shields within 6-8 seconds, maybe. I'm ballparking. But
that's kind of a long time.
And the weapons actually work similarly in that enemies are dropping like little green XP crystals constantly that power up your main weapon. But every time you get hit, you lose power off that weapon as well.
Like damage power, or
yeah, like and the shot gets bigger. You know, it turns into a double shot and stuff like that. I don't have to sit here and go through every mechanic in this game, but like the basic push pull is instead of just dying every time you get touched, it's instead you're losing shields and losing weapon power, and so there's a constant tug of war between keeping your weapons better, you know, powered up, and your shields charged, and not getting hit and that stuff. So like. It's an interesting way to adapt like the difficulty of one of these types of games to more modern sensibilities, I think.
Is there checkpointing?
You respawn. It's that's like the R-type Gradius divide, right? Like R-type, when you die, the screen goes black and it rolls back to a checkpoint and respawns you. But other types of games in the genre, just another ship just comes flying onto the screen.
Oh,
this is the latter. This is you just respawn.
Okay.
On the spot when you die and keep going. And there's all kinds of mechanics about the weapons you can pick up and swap around in different slots and how they level up and stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on there, but it looks great and like sounds great and like seems just like a really good solid side-scrolling shooter.
I wanna check it out. I might wait for everything to finalize here.
Yeah. Like if you wait until that cart release, they'll be done working on it.
Yeah. That's Earthion. That is available now, at least on Steam, with other editions coming in the future. That's going to do it for the games, unless you guys have anything else that I missed there. That's my notes. Let's take a quick break here. We'll come back. We'll talk about some news, so stick around. All right, we are back, and it's time for the news. Leading off today's news.
Today's nude.
Jenny, we'll take that again from the top. I'm going to take it from news. Kicking off today's news block is Nintendo in what I'm calling the least surprising Nintendo news. Brad Shoemaker, 2 bits of news here. The sell-through number and the attach rate here. You could probably guess they're
doing
high.
fine.
They're high.
Oh, are we talking about the Switch 2 numbers first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Record setting, you might say.
Record setting on the pace, right?
They've sold over. Nintendo has reported some financials, and yes, they have sold over 6 million Switch 2s since launch, probably more at this point.
6 million. Yeah.
I think they said the first 7 weeks, which is almost to date.
That's almost 1 million a week.
That's probably short of a couple, like a week and a half ago or something, 2 weeks ago maybe.
They moved some units.
It doesn't cover up to the minute, but it's pretty close to now, and that's like by far the fastest ever. And
we'll talk about this as things go on and as the pace of this continues abreast, but it doesn't necessarily mean the best selling console of Nintendo's just fastest, right? Like
fastest for now. Like that's always kind of been the question here is like, of course, early adopters are going to go crazy over this thing, going to go ape, you might say.
Oh,
for this
now
console.
They are. Yeah.
But like long term, will this have the same long tail the Switch did or not? We will see.
But this other piece of news here that I thought was very funny on the Mario Kart World news.
Yeah, like apparently the Mario Kart World attach rate is almost 97%. Which, hey, You want to get an attached number like that? Only put out one new game with your console.
Yeah.
B, make it $30 more expensive to buy that new game separately versus in the bundle with the console.
Seems like it worked.
At a close to 97% attach rate, you're probably in the same territory of pack-in attach rate for people who might have just had a manufacturing defect and they forgot their game. It just wasn't in there.
Like, you bought a Switch, what the fuck else were you going to play on it?
It's very funny.
Welcome tour.
And you know, some people had to buy the non-bundle because that's all they could get in at a retailer or whatever.
And they never said what the actual splits were between bundle versus non-bundle availability in the regions, right?
So. It seems like it's mostly bundles out there, though, I think.
I would love to see what the Welcome Tour attach rate was. That's
because they put like an actual gate behind it. It's not just a thing that comes with the console. So you can say how many people actually went out of their way to pay $10 for this.
I'm still looking forward to trying that. It sounded like some interesting technical stuff in there that I want to see.
The 2.3% that didn't buy Mario Kart with their Switch 2, very happy with their Welcome Tour.
We're all busy playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. That's pretty funny, just in terms of Mario Kart. Like we said, I think we all felt that way. Like, look, if you're getting a Switch 2, you are probably getting it to play some Mario Kart at this stage of the game. But now, more stuff out there, like Donkey Kong Bonanza. But if for some reason you're still interested in buying something from the original Switch family, Brad Shoemaker.
Yes, those prices went up. I mean, I feel like that's like the real crazy news here this week is that I think wasn't this the same timing as the Canadian price increases they announced weeks ago?
I think it was, yeah.
I think it just turns out I don't know how calculated this was. At the very last minute, they came in like literally 2 days before this happened and said, oh, by the way, the American prices are also going up along with Canadian prices. So every model of Switch 1 is now significantly more expensive.
Yep.
Which, man.
Suboptimal.
The Switch OLED is now $400. Which, I'm just going to say, the Switch 2 is $450.
Is that with the Mario?
One.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, that's not with Mario Kart.
Yeah, no, that's just a $400 flat. You're talking, Switch 2 without Mario Kart. So Switch 2 with no game. But that's also a Switch OLED with no game.
Fair enough, fair.
In what universe does somebody pay $400 for a Switch OLED when they can pay another $50 and get the Switch 2?
Well, look, the Switch 2 doesn't have an OLED, right?
No.
I'm just kidding.
But also, they're not going to make any more games for it.
I mean, the thing you're talking about, I will say, look, there were plenty of people who I think would have been more than happy to just grab a Switch 1 as the shine of the Switch 2 maybe makes those consoles traditionally become more affordable. But I don't think it's going to go in the other direction. I think if you're talking about that old hardware becoming more expensive now, why would you ever buy one until things normalize again? Like, there's no reason to pay more than what most people paid for a Switch 1 now. Like, you should not do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. The other Nintendo store is such a mess. I'm trying to find the Switch Lite went up $30 to $230.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch regular, if I can find it in here, $340. So $40, and then on the regular Switch, and then $50 increase on the OLED. Which is never great to raise prices, but especially less than 2 months after your brand new console came out and didn't have its price go up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I do know. You know why this is
You have
happening.
an idea.
I mean, that is 15. Is that? Do my math for me. So 15 times 45. It's around 15%, which is, I think, where the tariffs are. So
yeah,
maybe a little under for some of those.
I still wonder if they just priced some amount of tariffs into the price that they landed on for the Switch 2.
That's why they're able to hold out a little bit.
Yeah, why the price hasn't moved on that, or maybe it's still. I mean, I think they've said it still could move, though, right?
Yeah,
sure.
they do leave themselves some room to potentially nudge it. But again, when you're selling almost 1 million consoles a week, I can understand not wanting to upset that until you absolutely have to.
They definitely could just be willing to take a smaller profit margin on the Switch 2 to get the install base numbers up as fast as they can.
Yeah, and as availability increases and these prices cut closer together, like you just said, Brad, when you're walking into a store and see both of them.
Yeah. mean, $450, not a small amount of money, but if you're already at $400, I mean, there's just like, unless you have a specific need for a Switch OLED, it just makes no sense at this point because, again, they're not going to make many more new games for that thing.
Yeah, like if your Switch 1 broke, and even if you're a parent of a kid whose Switch 1 broke and you're making that choice, maybe the Switch 2 is your better option there, if if you're just doing a replacement. Or
like a Switch Lite if you're really price conscious. That's the cheapest way to go, but that's got its own drawbacks. Yeah, I forgot they say right here in this statement about Switch 2, price will remain unchanged at this time. However, please note the price adjustments may be necessary in the future.
Yeah, I mean, they have no idea what's happening either.
That's for sure.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they're at a table. I don't know. So like, also it probably depends. This is not our department, but where they're switching manufacturing to, because we had heard some stuff switching to Vietnam for manufacturing. Where it's coming out of. Tariffs are now different in different territories. So I think maybe Vietnam is at 20% now. I can't remember where things are.
Again, none of these things are finalized. They are shifting entirely on the whims of whatever the fuck is going on. Like, they're raising the tariffs on India because of some deal they struck with Russian oil companies. So, like, this can change at any given second.
Yeah, I mean, I would guess they're just as gun shy about moving manufacturing because, like you just said, like they could move to another country that does something naughty, and gets even worse tariffs slapped on them tomorrow. So this has got to be a nightmare to navigate for them.
Yeah, and look, I have very little sympathy for big companies like this, but even having to put a line in the sand and be like, we're changing the price, right? Because they can't change the price every week. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't play the Switch markets,
No,
like,
you shouldn't try.
Right?
Yep.
That's the
get into Switch futures.
That's right. I'm shorting Switches. So
I bought some puts on the Switch too.
Boy, what's in manila envelope? Switch futures. It's the Switch 1 price increase, Switch 2, like you just said, for now stable, but maybe in the future.
Yeah. I'm going to say real quick, I think this is the week that I'm comfortable declaring the Switch 2 is really just out there now.
Okay. In the wilds.
I've been watching just for more professional reasons than anything. That thing has just been, the Mario Kart bundle has just been in stock and ships from and sold by at Best Buy, Costco, and Walmart for like a week straight now.
It is interesting also in some of the reporting I was reading in the stories you shared, Brad, on this. The reporting was that Nintendo is not changing their forecast for sell-through, even though they had this kind of record-breaking head start. And that could just be them wanting to come in above forecasted in the end. Mm-hmm. Or it could be that things do slow down. They are. That's baked in with the projection for the holiday sales making up almost half of their sales.
There'd definitely be a surge then, but I've also anecdotally on the Discord seen people saying multiple people said they just walked into some random Target or
through our community saying as well, and
Costco or whatever, and there were a few on the shelf or whatever, so it seems like the supply may have caught up to demand.
In North America, where they were harder to get.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like Europe, some of the European countries have had it out there available for even longer.
And Canada, it sounded like.
Yeah.
So that's Nintendo's news there.
So I guess I should finally buy one. I missed my Nintendo email. They fucking emailed me while I was out of town.
Oh, and you have like 24 hours?
No, you have, for at least in my case, I think it was 72 hours.
Okay.
But it's to an email address I rarely look at. Just didn't catch it, but whatever. Seems like it's out there now.
I was going to say that's Nintendo news, but segueing off of that, I will say one last bit here. If you get your new Nintendo Switch 2, maybe you can fill in this survey so you can share your opinion on game key cards.
Yeah, I think the survey might have closed. I don't see it in this Video Games Chronicle story, but I feel like I saw somebody on Blue Sky say maybe this might have ended now. But yeah, they've been running a user feedback survey about game key cards.
I did not fill one out.
Which are the carts without games on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The cart that is just a license key that still makes you download the whole game.
Which is basically the direction they've adopted.
Yeah.
For now, at least. Yeah. I don't know how well those things are doing.
Some call it, some would say it's the worst of both worlds. Some say
it's kind of how I would put it.
I mean, the only upside is it's a digital game you can resell.
I think it's right. So it kind of, I think, depends. I'm not a huge fan, but I think where you're looking at it, if you're coming from the physical game space, this sucks. If you're coming from the digital space, at least now you can trade this cart around, with some rights.
But,
so it's like, if you're like, it's better than digital, and you're like, yeah, okay, but also, like, it's worse than physical.
And it's actually, well, it's also, I mean, you kind of are losing the big advantage of downloading games because now you have to keep up with the physical item to play them.
Right. Yes.
So it's kind of not really the best for anybody. I don't know how widespread this is. This is very anecdotal, but Kelsey Lewin, who runs the Pink Gorilla, very small boutique chain of retail game stores. This has been like a month or more ago, but I saw her posting that nobody is buying these third-party game key cards.
Interesting.
And I don't know if she didn't go into detail whether she'd asked customers whether that's the reason why that nobody wants these because of the nature of these things. But
but there's no alternative in the physical space, right? It's not like they're buying the physical.
Right. Like if a game is game key card only, that's the only way it's come out physically. But it sounds like there is some evidence these things may not be moving.
I mean, I think the bigger thing is that, like, it's hard to gauge exactly how much worse it is versus the overall downturn in physical game buying. Because I think I remember Kelsey also mentioning at one point, she basically sells like a copy of an Xbox game physically every time a new one comes out. She does not order more than 1 or 2 copies for any given Xbox game at this point because people are just not buying the physical versions.
There's also some amount of what are the Xbox's retail fortunes generally. At this point, it's not great either. Right. But yes, like you see this from third parties all the time talking about how much their digital sales are continuing to be the bulk of their sales.
And we've talked a lot about this, but the death of the physical means a lot to the death of game preservation. When you can only get these things digitally, and then those things go offline, or et cetera, et cetera. You guys been following? I'm just gonna. This is not a story we looked into, so this is just kind of off the top of the head. But have you guys been following the stuff that's been happening more recently with the preservation of games in terms of servers and stuff going off? What is the name of that movement?
Stop killing games.
Stop killing games. That's the name of that. Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen some of that stuff where there were?
I've seen it going around.
There's been like pushback and lawsuits and like like weird. Now things seem to get real low and then back up high again, where they got pressure campaigns to basically knock them out due to legislation and stuff like that. Really weird, really strange tale if you're following that.
Seems like this is primarily a European movement right now. I don't know exactly why. I mean, maybe it's the EU is the last bastion of regulatory action.
Yeah, the last bastion you can get something done
on the planet at this point. I don't know, but
it has been. I catch the video updates once in a while. But there was like I'm not doing this anymore. One, it's just too taxing. It's just not going to happen. To then like, oh my gosh, we got all the support. To then like, they're kind of weirdly coming after me in like the like black vans are circling my house kind of way, which started getting weird.
Yeah.
All right. That's Nintendo.
That is Nintendo.
Not necessarily in the black vans in that arena.
No, they have red vans. You'll recognize them instantly.
They just say plumbing on the side.
It's just Charles Martinet in a plumber's costume sitting out there.
The last thing you'll hear is "This is Miyamoto" before everything fades to blackness.
That's right. There are worse ways to go.
And the stretching of piano wire.
Another thing that's been going on in the video game space is the whole saga with Steam, itch, payment processors. Itch had said basically at the time we reported on this last time, hey, we're looking into alternatives. This sucks, right?
Yeah.
This we don't want this.
But, I think Steam has even gotten out there in the last week or so and has been a little bit more aggressive about saying like, look, we don't want this either.
I think all I've seen there is I think like somebody tried to solicit comment from MasterCard who denied being involved in this, and then somebody from Valve was like, yeah, no, it was them.
Yeah. It's 100%
it was something along those lines that they was like, yeah, no, this did come from payment processors.
Brad, if you don't mind, the short 1 or 2 line players in this game, who are all the people who are
like payment processors? I can't say.
No, not the payment processors. The group that was Save the Children. Collective Shout.
Yes.
And then we're basically
this is a group we could do without. Come on.
Are you doing lyrics or are you doing?
Yeah, Tears for Fears.
Okay,
Shout.
yeah, shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you said it such a calm way, but also I agree with the sentiment. So,
maybe this group shouldn't let it all out.
There we go.
Wow. Okay. So again, they were trying to go through payment processors to target games that they felt in their mission were going against policies of the payment processors that manifested in all sorts of games being what they termed violation.
Yes,
right?
they were leveraging the TOS of these various payment processors to basically say, well, these companies should not be able to sell these games on here the way
these
they
are adult. You wouldn't even believe with these games, which just casts such a wide net.
Yes.
Like standard moral panic leading with like child abuse and rape and stuff like that as a way of just shutting down anything that they find remotely objectionable.
So itch has a little bit of trying to figure things out here. What are they doing, Brad?
They're re-indexing free, not safe for work content.
Free and important free.
Things they don't have to charge for because they had originally just de-indexed everything that had that tag on it, period. Yes. They did post a updated comment from Stripe that sounds like Stripe is not going to budge on this policy, though, for paid stuff.
And Stripe, again, is a middleman
Stripe,
who has to go through payment processors as well.
Like they're the ones that run the transaction when you, in this case, buy something from itch.
Yeah, they're like a Square or something like that. Like they are just a middle processor.
Stripe is unthinkably huge. Yeah. I have come to find out in
they're everywhere.
Process of reading about this stuff. Let me pull the numbers back up just in case you're curious.
But they will interface with the American Expresses and the stuff in the end anyway.
Well, so I think a lot of the credit card companies are also payment processors at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I forget like what exactly all the tiers are in this stack between you and a bank moving money around or whatever, but Stripe did $1.4 trillion in payment processing last year.
That's payment processing.
Like they are huge. Yeah, this says they have a $91 billion valuation.
Sure.
So large company, but like they are the company. Like there are plenty of others that do this as well, but like they are by far the biggest in terms of the just number of transactions they're handling.
Here is Stripe's message, though I think the one you're alluding to. Stripe is currently unable to support sexually explicit content due to restrictions placed on them by their banking partners, despite card networks generally supporting adult content with the appropriate registrations. Mm-hmm. Stripe has indicated that they hope to be able to support adult content in the future.
Yeah.
That was their forward-facing message, at least, to Stripe users.
So it says they're exploring other payment processing opportunities or options rather at this time.
But
nothing to announce yet. But
in short, I think you have to go if you're a content creator on there. You have to go and select no payment, right? Basically, to say reindex my. It has the not safe for work tag, and you have to select no payment as opposed to any of the other options to get it relisted. And indexed for it to come up on search.
Yeah. So. They also say now that they have more specific language from Stripe about what the problem is, they may go back and look at the.
I'll tell you what the problem is.
Yes. They might go back and review the list of paid games they have taken down or de-indexed rather, and see if there are any that might actually fit this more narrow definition that they can put back up.
I wonder how many people we talked about this last time, but itch is kind of more of a self-policing. Or at least that's what Itch was saying, right? So, hey, we let you just make a page and then you self-report, right? Like what your tags are. I wonder how many things would go mislabeled now because you don't want this tag versus the benefit of having the tag on for people who are looking for that more adult content.
Yeah.
I'm curious what their curation inside of Itch is for a very small team that probably can't afford to manually go through and vet every game that is hitting their
definitely. I also wonder if changing payment processors might result in changes to pricing.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time
if
too,
right? If they end up having to
to
start paying a higher cut to a new payment processor or something that could affect their business negatively.
I just think, Alex, you mentioned this last time, just like content curation through payment processor. It's such a dark.
That's not who you want to put that shit in the hands of.
It sucks.
But that is the re-indexing of content on the itch side, or at least I'm trying to start that process up. And again for free stuff. Next story here. Do you guys remember that there's a Bioshock 4?
No, actually, until this came up this week, I truly had forgotten that game was in development.
Somehow I closed the tab for this story, so no, I actually had forgotten we were going to talk about this at all.
Do you remember? Okay. Do you remember Bioshock?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember Ken Levine?
I do.
Do you remember Ken Levine left and went to go make something else?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that?
Logan's
game?
Run.
That's Judas.
Judas. Where's
now
Judas?
Got a couple trailers. Yeah, it still does not have actually.
Okay.
I double checked this morning. It still does not have even like a release year. I don't think.
Is Ken Levine making a movie?
I don't think so.
Not currently.
Okay.
I think he has written a couple of screenplays.
I'm not sure any of them have gotten produced, but yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Back to Bioshock.
Also, I just continue to be blown away at how much Judas just looks like Bioshock.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's really crazy for how long he was away from things to finally come back out with his new game, and it kind of looks like more of that.
Listen, sometimes you spend a lot of time rearranging your narrative Legos, and what you still end up with is the thing that was on the box of Legos to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the big game they're talking about, the adaptive storytelling in that game, sounds super interesting. I mean, it could be a bunch of smoke and mirrors.
In Judas, yeah.
But I'm very curious to see how that works, at least.
But we are not talking about Judas.
No,
we are talking about the news here was Bioshock 4.
Bioshock 4. It sounds like the leadership on that game has pretty much just turned over, according to Bloomberg. Jason Schreier out there doing his reporting thing. It sounds like Cloud Chamber is the name of that developer. It's a studio that 2K started up to make a Bioshock 4.
It's in Novato, I think.
I feel like that, well, I mean, I started to say that doesn't seem to have a great track record of going well, but actually it's really just this studio and the Initiative that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
The Perfect Dark studio. Like two anecdotes don't make data or whatever I'm trying to say here, but still, like, that's two examples of, like,
I feel like Microsoft has spun up game-specific studios.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Coalition has done a fairly good job of stewarding Gears of War.
Well, don't forget, there was also a big project in the works at Hangar 13 for a while there that got killed, and a bunch of the leadership there also turned over, and I think that's when they shifted on to Mafia: The Old Country.
Yeah. Anyway, the studio head and the creative director on Bioshock 4 have both moved on. And Schreier reported that the game failed an internal gate, effectively, an internal review recently.
I think the narrative is like one of the main things they cite from it.
Yes, the narrative was, quote, an area that was particularly in need of improvement.
Okay.
Is what has come out of this story. So the game sounds, at least in the publisher's eyes, a bit troubled. Apparently, there were also plans for a Bioshock 1 remake.
Okay, sure, I can
going
see it.
That they have now canceled as well.
I could absolutely see that doing well.
I think I don't know what level of remake we're talking. I feel like that game still looks halfway decent.
Yeah.
It would have to be pretty substantial to be worth it, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know how you remake that game. I don't know if you go redo every single asset or what. But
Unreal 5, that's how.
I think I get Bioshock gameplay mechanics wise a little confused with Bioshock 2. I'm not sure where each one begins and ends in terms of what was gameplay wise in it.
I never played 2, but I mean, isn't 2 the one that let you play a Big Daddy?
Yeah.
Was
that's
the big deal
2?
there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's 2.
Yeah.
Infinite, very different story.
Yeah, Infinite is quite a different. I mean,
you mean Bioshock 3?
Spiritually
Bioshock 3.
very similar, but like 2 was kind of built on 1, and then Infinite is its own thing.
Do we have any other information about this game, setting wise or time period?
Nothing at all, other than the fact that they're making it, as far as I know.
Okay.
I've never seen any rumors about what it is exactly.
I think it would be wild if a Bioshock 4, whatever it might be, and a Judas came out around the same time.
Yeah.
Like that would be a real weird one for those properties, let's say. That is some Dead Space and what was the Dead Space
knockoff.
what was that one called, Brad, with the very Dead Space game that you and I both played it, and then I think you beat it, and then they lowered the difficulty.
Callisto Protocol.
Yes, Callisto
Like
Protocol.
if they came out in conjunction with one another.
I mean, they did. The remake came out, and that came out.
They did come out pretty close together.
All right.
Bioshock, there's so little out there on Bioshock 4 that there is no Wikipedia page for it yet.
Well,
it's just kind of a footnote on the Bioshock franchise Wikipedia.
It is still in development, I guess, as far as things go.
Sounds like still coming
with that team.
Still coming, but new leadership, story being revamped. It's probably, I'm going to say that's like a PlayStation 6 game at this point.
Wow. Okay.
Probably. I mean, it'll probably come out on both, but what I mean is I bet at this point, it probably doesn't come out until after there are new consoles.
Man.
Maybe
far ahead now.
Maybe it's possible that it'll be out sooner than that.
It's like I've really laser focused on the next 3.5 years, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like outside of that window, it's so hard to tell. Last story we've got here, but we've talked a lot about acquisitions and consolidation.
Yep.
And you know, it's a really kind of a blight on the games industry here. And
really
here goes
is.
The Video Games History Foundation getting in on theirs.
Well, what if you acquire something and then make it free for public use?
That's communism.
Yeah. There you go. He said it. Yep.
Yep. This is just a fun, feel-good story.
We get so few of those these days, so let's embrace this.
The video, I'm basically just going to read from this story because they lay it out as well as anybody could. Video Game History Foundation acquires early game magazine Computer Entertainer. So I had never heard of this magazine before.
I had heard of it. I have never seen an issue of it before.
Like the VGHF, like clearly has made a huge, like one of their core things, at least now. I mean, now they're doing all kinds of stuff, but they have been like amassing a huge searchable archive of basically every video game publication that's ever been published.
Mm-hmm.
Scanning magazines, making them text searchable, et cetera, et cetera. Here they have acquired the literal rights, like the ownership of the property of the magazine Computer Entertainer.
It's amazing.
I'm just going to read this. Computer Entertainer, originally titled The Video Game Update, was the newsletter for Video Takeout, a mail-order retailer based in Los Angeles. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, and there is like profound historical value here. The magazine, which ran from 1982 to 90, is the only known publication in the United States that regularly covered home console video games in the mid-1980s. Most console game magazines in the US went out of business during the 83 to 84 industry crash, except this one. As a result, Computer Entertainer is one of the only sources for American reviews of classic games like Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Super Mario Bros. And because it was run by a game retailer, this magazine is one of the only reliable sources of American game release dates during this period.
It's wild.
So like, there's one more note here. The newsletter, co-edited by sisters Mary Lou Badeau and Celeste Dolan, also has the unique distinction of being the earliest console video game magazine run by women. So, but they're about the release dates in particular. They put up a big YouTube video about this, but there is a bit in there where Frank Cifaldi goes to a couple of Wikipedia pages and says like basically every game that came out in the mid 80s on Wikipedia that has an American release date, if you look at the footnote, they will all reference this magazine.
That's bananas.
Like this magazine is the reason we know when a lot of like NES games and like Master System games came out in the US at all, like down to the actual release date.
Amazing.
So like this thing actually is like a fount of historical knowledge. But anyway, they have acquired the rights to the magazine and they have released the whole thing under Creative Commons license. So
that's right. With
attribution, basically anybody can do whatever they want with this magazine now, which is rad.
Good on them.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like this is a like mainly donation funded organization. So if they're going to come into ownership of something like this, it's nice for them to kind of pass it along back to the public and make it freely available.
I do. Aside from all of that amazing stuff, there is one other thing that it tickles the nerd side of my head. And in their story about it, they have look, this is how we had to scan these before we could take these things apart. And here's how it looks now that we could take all these magazines apart and scan them. Isn't this so awesome?
Yep.
You don't see the border on the thing anymore.
Yeah. Well, they lost text in a lot of cases. Like if the text ran close enough to the binding.
Yeah.
Because these are all like kind of the glued spine style, where you can't lay it flat like a stapled magazine very easily. So yeah, they basically, the scans like kind of preserve text that was lost.
And like, that's super important, but also like the people there must be like, this is amazing. Like we could do our thing with these. if you're listening to this and you own a magazine that is no longer in publication or they're old copies,
we'll take it.
Think about doing this because this is an awesome thing.
Yeah. I've seen Cifaldi talk about other like early newsletters, like 2600 era, early 80s stuff that has been very hard to track down every issue of. So there's definitely some rare stuff floating around out there. My favorite detail of this story is that Mary Lou Bedeau had a day job as a record executive at Warner Brothers, in addition to running this mail order business and newsletter, and that for at least some period of time she was Prince's manager.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So there's that also.
It's another way to tie Prince into the video.
In fact, she wrote a book about Prince after he passed.
No kidding, really?
About working with him.
Huh.
Anyway, this is a neat story. I'm glad to see them doing stuff like this. And this entire magazine, it's all out there in the archive now to go through.
I'm gonna have to go check some of that out. And find out about the Commodore 64.
In their Legend of Zelda review, they talk about their normal game review setup for reviewing NES games.
Great.
And you can see they talk about like this game was basically so incredible that we had to like upgrade to a better TV and sound system to fully experience it.
Get it on the hi-fi, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's gonna do. That's right. That's gonna do it for the news.
Man, I miss having a den.
Mm-hmm.
We have a room we call a den, but it's what makes a den?
In our case, a lot of wood paneling.
Yeah.
No, we don't have that.
And that's the room where the smoking happens.
Oh, it's somewhere.
Okay, so that's basically this basement for me.
You're smoking.
Yeah, I think the one thing it's missing though is a big, like, sink-in, comfy couch. Doesn't have to be fancy; just has to be big that you can sink into.
It's where our TV is, and the couch.
Yeah,
and it's a tiny little space that gets extremely hot because our TV puts off a lot of.
Den, more of a nook.
Shh, the den nook. Yeah, we can't quite call it a living room because that's really nobody's living in there.
Who could live?
I feel like a den probably should have entertainment as furniture in it. You know, there should be something that is like a built-in thing that is for entertainment center. You know, actually, I guess a den can have anything. Is a pool table go in a den, or does that go in your parlor room?
I think it really depends on what you're trying to present to the people.
My wealth.
Okay, then that's a parlor.
Okay, great.
Rich people don't have dens. They have conversation pits.
Oh, okay. My billiards room.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's going to do it for the news. That means we're going to move into emails. Brad Shoemaker.
2 emails.
2 emails.
I'm going to read 2 emails.
All right.
Okay.
Where did these emails come from?
Possibly an email address?
We look, while you find those emails, I'm going to read 0.5 of an email because I forget from whom it came, but I saw we had an email from someone saying that came in this morning that said, you guys should really check out The Alters. And I would like to let that person know the archive of our stream from yesterday is currently up.
Hey, we checked out The Alters.
We did it.
All right.
So rarely can we just check off a box.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast@nextlander.com is the address for these.
That's true. Podcast@nextlander.com.
Yep.
Podcast@nextlander.com.
John from Huntersville, North Carolina. McGruff is taking on the car industry.
Okay.
So we're on like week 3 of talking about Dare and Crime Busters and all that kind of stuff at this point. After going back to a recent episode, I just wanted to let everyone know that McGruff the crime dog is still a thing. He is now taking on counterfeit car parts.
What?
Truly the issue of our time.
Yeah.
I'm not joking as much as I wish this were the plot of a Vin Diesel movie. McGruff wants consumers to buy only authentic parts for their cars.
How do I do that?
I crossed paths with McGruff at Daytona International Speedway twice in the last 2 seasons. He was sponsoring a driver in the second-tier NASCAR Xfinity Series. McGruff was roaming the garage area at the same time as the Jack Link's Sasquatch one year.
Okay.
I didn't know Jack Link's had a Sasquatch.
Yeah,
I remember
that campaign.
Yeah, it was a dumb campaign.
And at the same time as Creed a different year.
Oh.
Scott Stapp is sort of like a goofy mascot.
Anyway, he has enclosed pictures of here's a stock car covered in McGruff
stuff.
And also, here is a either a driver or a member of a pit crew in the pits, standing next to full-on McGruff suit in a trench coat.
Trench coat? Dog in a trench coat?
Where's this coming from? This is clearly this is worthy of McGruff's time.
I feel like the automotive industry at some point stepped in here and just wrote him a check and was like, look, man, we need your help.
This is what happens. Privatization steps in, and now McGruff is just serving special interests.
Look, if he
where all
wasn't
that Dare money went.
If he didn't do this, he would just be doing fucking cheating husband jobs like every other private detective out there. He'd be sitting in a fucking Miata taking photos of some guy cheating on his fucking wife.
Used to be somebody, McGruff. Used to matter. Used to be about the crimes. Now you can just take a bite out of my ass, McGruff. The fuck out of here! I think somebody's got a fake muffler over there. Go chase it, McGruff.
Why don't you go find my catalytic converter, you piece of shit?
You piece of shit, McGruff.
Poor McGruff. Look, he's down on his luck. All right.
I don't know. It sounds like he took a check. So
he's taking what he can get.
Divorce really hit him bad.
McGruff. What are you gonna do now?
He's gonna be working the county fair next. All right.
Do you remember that movie where it was? I forget who was in it, but it was a cop movie where.
Gotta narrow it down.
It was a cop movie where if he died in the line of duty, the family made more money than if he would get to retirement.
Yikes.
And, yes, it was a comedy with like Richard Dreyfuss or something, and he was just trying to get killed in the line of duty. So he could get the benefits from paid out.
I have a vague recollection of this. I'm not sure this is a particularly successful movie, either critically or financially.
I don't think so. I think about it sometimes in the movies that couldn't be made like too dark almost to be made today, you know?
Oh, I don't know. I actually think that's pretty tame by today's standards in terms of the darkness we were facing. That feels like an actual real problem now.
Maybe.
We just backed our way into reality.
Yeah, I was like, how am I going to pay these medical bills?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm not. Sorry, McGruff.
Ugh.
All right. Another email? You said there are two.
The other email from Peter. I was a little reluctant to read this, but I feel like I have to. Why is Brad on an Instagram post from Azalea Banks? LMAO, you guys are everywhere. All right.
This is weird.
Can you back this up for me and really pretend? You don't have to pretend. Acknowledge that I know really little about this.
About the posts, about the artist,
Azalea Banks, the whole thing. I did see a picture of this, so I saw the image.
Okay.
I only saw a screenshot of the image. Was it animated?
No, it is. Okay. It's a very old picture of me in headphones, looking sad and or contemplative. Let's say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to. I don't know that I want to get into the subject matter of the post. She thinks it's a bad branding move to be in support of Palestine. Is what this post is about.
Right.
But
she's not talking to you.
No. This is like meme. So I have
other artists.
She's talking about Kneecap and Bob Dylan, who are two artists that had very strong pro-Palestine statements that courted some controversy for them.
It's some kind of shitty like, hey, what are you going to be in support of after this is over type stuff. Anyway, the substance of the post is better left unremarked upon.
You've been memeified?
I have two thoughts here. Number one, when you put yourself on the internet as much as we have, you're bound to show up in some places here and there.
Yes.
Number two, unlike Drew, I am constitutionally unfit to become a meme. Mm-hmm. So let's all just let this one sail by.
That's fine.
Please.
Please no traction on this one.
Let's not. Yeah, no reposts. No.
This wasn't the official Azalea Banks account, was it?
So that's what I thought when people in the Discord brought this to my attention. The account is Azalea Banks Forever on Instagram,
which is an official fan account. I think
I took to be a fan account, but as far as I can tell, it's her.
Oh,
like I found her link tree that points to her Twitter and her YouTube, and her everything, and it also pointed to this account. So I think unless I missed something,
okay,
I don't know.
I'll believe you. I don't follow her with regularity, so it could very well be her account. I don't know.
I'm happy to be wrong, but
the other thing about this that we didn't really explain is that Azalea Banks is a very interesting person.
Yeah,
is how I would charitably describe that.
Isn't she the one that made the medallion out of Jack Dorsey's beard trimmings?
Possibly.
I think
she also has talked a lot of shit about Elon Musk and Grimes.
Yes.
At one point implying that she went over to their house and some. Well, you can read the story yourself. I don't need to recount the whole thing. It's rather sordid sounding.
Okay. My really number one question here, mostly for you, Brad, but for the general audience out there, is how did this get cross paths?
Like, how did this picture emerge?
Like, what search term are you looking for? Sad?
Because this isn't an existing meme. Like, you have not been made into a meme with this photo prior to this, as far as we are aware.
How is this surfacing? Like, sad musician boy? Like, what tag?
Sad boy with headphones? I don't know. Like,
what? Like, or was it like, oh, I remember this Brad Shoemaker image. I'm a huge old GameSpot.
Yeah, maybe she was a big fan.
That'd be news to us.
It's also like quite low quality, as if it's been like passed around or like kind of poorly photoshopped out of a video frame or something.
Or
at some point.
look like a still from a thing that was cut out, tried to be alpha'd out for a GIF. You know,
but like from a video source that is definitely sub 1080p.
I mean, this is an old photo.
Yeah,
this is an old image.
Yep.
Maybe you are circulating in certain like music channels out there
not.
as a GIF.
I sincerely hope not.
That can go awry pretty quickly if you don't take control of that.
I mean, at some point, two statements I want to come back to. One, you both have alluded to it. There's just too much material out there that has been hoovered up by the like Giphies of the world, and the that you probably got tagged with something that some hours and hours of content somebody has clipped out. There's probably something for there. Second, I have talked to Drew quite a bit about his meme status, and it seems like kind of a pain in the neck for some stuff. If you are interested in how your image is being used.
Yes, for sure.
Brad, I will be turning you into a meme coin presently.
Oh boy.
Just so you know.
Do you have a name for your meme coin yet?
Brad coin.
Great. Fantastic.
Man,
easy right out there.
Can I get on?
Absolutely
got a little action for me?
No, you should go into my competing one called B-Rad.
No, you can't get in on this because it's a rug pull, dude. I don't want to do that to my friend and coworker.
Well, hey, I want to put a hand on the rug before we yank it.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta be. Brad's already
we'll
in
strike
for like
a
$1 million.
to a deal.
Yes.
Oh, gross.
I mean, this is far from the first time I've seen like one of the people we have worked with get used in this way. So it just kind of happens here and there.
I mean, Drew is the like.
Yes, he is the Uber example.
That's the one that caught.
But at the same time, I was saying to you, Vinny, I think offline, I was just like, on a long enough timeline, given the sheer number of hours of footage of just our face on things on the internet, one frame is bound to break containment for all of us eventually.
Yeah.
Would you call Drew's blinking white guy meme like a top 10 at the time? It was very popular. Has it faded? I still feel like I still see it every now and
again. It's still out there. It's still in use. For sure.
That's like that went pretty far.
Bias aside, I think it's probably like top 10 most used of all time.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to suss out is like our distance from Drew versus like, I feel like, because stuff probably happens, I don't clock it, but I do clock the Drew one a lot. But
say it again. Usable. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't believe Drew's $1 million jets he's bought off of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, got that pilot's license and bought a stealth plane.
Oh, yeah.
It's wild. It's amazing how rich you can get from being memeified. Well,
again, if you're willing to do meme coins, that's probably the way you actually get rich doing that. Otherwise, there's not much for you.
I just realized, does Jeff Bakalar own this image? He probably does.
Technically.
I don't know. If he does, then I bet there is a way to make that right. But I don't know. So, Brad, enjoy your riches.
Yeah, great. Exciting.
Yeah. And congratulations on your association.
The pit fell out of my stomach when I saw this morning. I was just like, please, God, no.
Dude, just be glad it wasn't Kanye.
Yep, sure. Oh, yeah, I'm talking less about who posted it and more. Let's just don't make this. Let's not make this a thing, please.
No.
You're not going to make the Good Morning America rounds?
There are several different ways in which you do not want to be wrapped up in all of this.
It's not even that good an image. It'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be okay. All right. I think that's it for the emails. That's it for the news. That's going to do it. Let's wrap up the show. Or if, I'll tell you what, if you know how this A to B to C image of Brad got in there. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I would like to know if this is, if like, oh no, this is like
Internet archaeologists, please trace this lineage for us.
Yeah, not to promote it. I'm just curious. Like,
I want to know
like how, like what search, where this is pinging.
But
somewhere.
for why?
But for why? You can message us. That's going to do it for the show. We got a bunch of stuff going on. The Watchcast continues with Star Trek Summer. Can't be contained. We still have the back half of the catalog here.
But much less than back half at this point.
Back third?
Yeah, I'd say back third.
Back third. What do we got going up this week? Or is up this week?
What's up this week is the Gangster Planet episode, A Piece of the Action, and the Space Amoeba, the Immunity Syndrome. Episodes that are entertaining for wildly different reasons. And then next week, I believe we have a Private Little War and something tomorrow. Return to Tomorrow, maybe one of them. I watched one of them.
Okay.
There's some stuff I like in it, and there's a whole bunch of stuff I don't.
Interesting. All right, I'll be watching those tonight. I'll get my popcorn ready.
All right.
That's over on the Watchcast. We also have a Never Been a Better podcast. Went up. Let's call it last week. a little bit delayed there. I had to run out of here.
It got there.
It got there. It made it to the channel, so you can check that out. That was a fun one. And we were also, Alex and I joined Bacalar for our voicemail dump truck, which is not on our Patreon, but you should go check that out. That was a good time as well.
Giantbomb.coms.
At giantbomb.com. Thanks to the Giant Bomb folks for having us over there. You can check out the Never Been a Better podcast, the Watchcast, the Ramblecast, the Video Ramblecast, the Planorama, all of that stuff over on our Patreon. Patreon.com/Nextlander will get you there, where you can find a bunch of tiers there to support us. You can find a tier that's right for you. You can even move around tiers if you want. All that content is waiting for you as you slip and slide around the tiers of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very musical podcast.
Yeah.
And find a fantastic way to support us. There is one tier there, though. I'm going to steal a line from they made me chuckle, a message that came in. Brad, I don't know if you saw this in the email. The Benefactor, the mysterious Benefactor tier.
I did.
Thank you for that. It made me smile. Mysterious Benefactor tier on the Patreon. Gets their names read on this here show. Alex Navarro, would you do the honors of reading our Mysterious Benefactors for this week?
I would be honored to do the honors. The honor of the Mysterious Benefactor this week are Jerry Lee, Sean Miller, sending good vibes on the internet. Please keep doing that. Do it faster. RRE, Alpha Rhythm, Infelicitous Rips, David L., Kelly F., Brian Lucier, Skywarp, Jason Grimm, John Hubbard, NXL Retirement Fund, Evan Cook, Mark Wilhelm, Jerry Lee, Deirdre on the shore of an endless ocean of poop. Man. Gary Peschke, Robert Fisher, Bunny Fiend, Jad Rita, Statics, Brian Murphy, Randy Duax, Randy Alderson, Andrew Tiebkin, Alex Wu, It Me JP, Edward Chick, Andrew Slosky, Steve Lynn, Matthew Herrig, David Campos, Tyler Treese, Deirdre, what the hell is going on?
Thanks to all of our Mysterious Benefactors. Hope you're doing well out there. Yeah. And thanks to everyone who supported us over on patreon.com/Nextlander, who supported us watching our stuff over on Twitch, supported us watching our stuff wherever you may find it, YouTube, etc., listening to this here podcast. Speaking of watching stuff and listening to stuff, on Monday, Will Smith, Brad, and I went into some Abiotic Factor. Like we said before, 1.0. Time slipped away. That was, I think we were in there for a little bit longer. Thanks to Will for sticking around on that one past the go time or the end time. Abby joined us on Tuesday for the Altars, which we were just about to go get another fine little clone boy. Maybe we'll check that out next week and see if our scientists.
I'm not here to tell you what we have to stream at any given time. You know, that's up to the people. But there's been a lot of talk, Vinny, specifically about you checking out something in particular.
Oh?
It's been Giant Bomb seems to have bubbled this one up. There is a game. It is a game. It is called I'm in Love with Your Dead Grandma.
Oh, that's an FMV game, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
being
that's
told
an older FMV game.
You should check this out.
Okay, all right, I can check it out. I feel like that's an older one.
I don't know how old it is, but it's been talked about this week. So
yeah, okay. All right. Maybe I just saw the upcoming for it a while ago. All right, maybe we'll check that out. But maybe we'll also this Friday check out some Star Trek Judgment Rights.
Hell yeah!
And
get back
as
to Trelane's planet.
Yeah, as we continue our Star Trek watchcast, it more and more resonates with the Star Trek Judgment Rights. Not sure how deep into that game we are.
We've only done the first couple episodes.
Yeah, I don't know how many there were. I feel like the last time we did the Star Trek game, it was only like 2 streams. I don't know if we even made it to 3. So we'll see Star Trek Judgment Rights probably this Friday. But that's going to do it for the show. Thanks again to everybody who wrote in, podcast, Nextlander, emails,
words, ending,
podcast at nextlander.com.
Salutations.
Sorry, looking out my window at there's construction happening. It was just a weird sight out there.
Yeah, you kind of lost you there for a second.
It's weird.
Then he went bye-bye.
Thanks again to everybody who's listening. Thank you, Alex Navarro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad Shoemaker.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with another podcast, another Nextlander podcast. Be good, everybody. See you soon. Bye.